We are live in 3, 2, 1.
Presidency is not for the glorification of the president, it's for the unification and the empowerment of the American people.
The stage for the 7th Democratic debate is set for tonight. This is the last debate before the Iowa caucus.
Abby Huntsman announces she's leaving The View to help run her father's campaign for governor of Utah.
Caught on camera, Lehigh police are looking for a porch pirate suspect.
A Utah businessman is killed when the plane he was flying crashed into Roy.
Speech tonight full of renewed hope and optimism for Utah's future.
Governor Gary Herbert delivers his 11th and final State of the State address.
A global emergency declaration is considered as a coronavirus outbreak spreads.
And no, I'm not talking about Donald Trump. I'm talking about Mayor Bloomberg.
Former New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg takes the heat from Democratic rivals in his first night on the debate stage.
Overall, the idea is a living, breathing document that can change as revelation comes.
The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints releases a new handbook with updates for moral policies.
Utah County launches a mobile application for the upcoming 2020 elections.
Expect more cases, and this is a good time to prepare.
The CDC says coronavirus is spreading quickly around the world, but President Trump says Americans shouldn't be worried.
The Utah Capitol building has declared a handshake-free zone for lawmakers and visitors to avoid the spread of the coronavirus.
If you're really going to treat your students equally, then really treat them equally.
Students are reacting after Brigham Young University sent out a clarification statement about taking homosexuality out of the honor code.
Salt Lake City police are asking for help in identifying a driver of a hit and run.
I want my fun back. It's like our fun's getting taken away. It's ridiculous.
The number of coronavirus cases are on the rise, and as that happens, many everyday life actions are going to be affected.
Shots fired. Shots fired. Suspect down.
Davis County Sheriff releases body cam footage of an intense police shooting.
Utah's 3 Boy Scout councils will merge into a single organization as their numbers slide. Welcome to Newsline. It's Thursday, March 12th. I'm Emma Benson.
And I'm Sierra Phipps.
A child is rescued hours after an Amber Alert. We'll show you video footage that helped police capture the car involved in the child abduction.
The suspect got out of the car and fled on foot.
A store clerk fights off an armed robber, and it's all caught on camera. We'll show you more of the surveillance video that recorded the struggle.
A popular audio streaming site launches music playlists aimed to soothe your pets.
We now know why Elizabeth Warren refused to shake hands with Bernie Sanders after the Democratic debate.
I think you called me a liar on national TV.
What?
I think you called me a liar on national TV.
Hear what happened after the mics were turned off for the cameras in Iowa on Tuesday.
A gas station surveillance video caught a man responsible of an arson attack. We'll tell you where this happened next.
Girl Scout cookie season is here, and one 7-year-old is raising eyebrows. Coming up, we'll tell you how she took her Girl Scout duty to a whole new level.
Take a look at this video. You can see a canine chase in action.
Good boy! Stop fighting my dog!
We'll tell you what this canine chased the suspect for. The body cam footage just released why Florida police arrested a 6-year-old girl.
And 4 teenagers burned down a building. We'll tell you how police responded. A Texas teacher is caught on video mistreating a special needs child. We'll tell you what charges the teacher is facing and how she has already been disciplined.
We are live in 3, 2, 1.
I want my fun back. It's like our fun's getting taken away. It's ridiculous.
The number of coronavirus cases are on the rise, and as that happens, many everyday life actions are going to be affected.
Shots fired. Shots fired. Suspect down.
Davis County Sheriff releases body cam footage of an intense police shooting.
Utah's 3 Boy Scout councils will merge into a single organization as their numbers slide. Welcome to Newsline. It's Thursday, March 12th. I'm Emma Benson.
And I'm Sierra Phipps. Coronavirus cases continue to appear across the country and the world. As reported infection rates go up,
many of your everyday actions will be affected. John Lawrence reports.
President Trump, in a coronavirus-based address Wednesday, says an antiviral therapy will be available in record time.
These treatments will significantly reduce the impact and reach of the virus.
But in the meantime, be prepared for things like rough days on Wall Street, extensive cleanings of most surfaces, empty shelves in your grocery stores, and travel restrictions from the White House.
You're going to see closing down of venues, schools, large gatherings, because you don't have an option. You're never going to bring the testing up to capacity in time.
The NBA is suspending its season after at least one player tested positive for the disease. Fans attending the Oklahoma City Thunder Utah Jazz game were sent home shortly before tip-off.
I want my fun back. It's like our fun's getting taken away. It's ridiculous.
But other basketball fans, like this one in Atlanta, approve the league's decision.
I think that by eliminating the big crowds is a good move.
Health officials say these steps are necessary to help prevent the coronavirus from spreading even faster.
We're 100,000 ICU beds short. We're probably tens of thousands breathing machines, ventilators short. What are we going to do? I mean, these are real problems, and this is, hours and days count now, not days and weeks.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Utah Jazz All-Stars Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell both test positive for coronavirus.
Certain players on the Jazz were concerned, and I'm sure, by the way, with other teams, that when Rudy was sick earlier this week, they were encouraging him to get tested.
Last night, Gobert tested positive for the virus prior to their game against the Thunder. The Jazz immediately isolated the players and tested them in the locker room. The team conducted 58 tests. Mitchell was the only member of the Jazz to test positive for the virus. As of right now, the two are expected to be self-quarantined for 12 to 14 days. Along with the NBA canceling the rest of their season, many other announcements have been made in the last several hours due to COVID-19. Some of these changes include BYU's athletic events are closed to the public. The NCAA is barring attendance for its March Madness tournament. The Pac-12 Conference is canceling all events and competitions. Major League Soccer is suspending their season for 30 days. And the National Hockey League suspended the season. Outside of sports, the State Department raising the worldwide travel advisory to level 3. Several late-night talk shows planning to film without live audiences, and Princess Cruises suspending sailing for 2 months.
Utah schools are responding to the coronavirus pandemic. Most schools, including the University of Utah, are waiting for the governor's press conference, which is happening right now. Brigham Young University has canceled graduation, devotionals, and forums. Utah State University has canceled all events and travel, and Murray School District is closed until further notice. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints makes major changes to conferences and trainings because of COVID-19. Newsline reporter Victoria Biozovic is live at the MTC in Provo. Victoria, what do the changes affect?
Yes, the changes will be affecting the MTC April General Conference, large gathering in Asia, Europe, United States, and Canada, missionary work, and temple worship. The First Presidency and the Quorum of the 12 Apostles sent a letter to members of the church worldwide, describing the format of the April General Conference. The church will distribute General Conference through the world via technology and will close the conference center in Salt Lake City to the public because of the threat of the coronavirus.
The prophet and the church leaders, they for sure know what's best for us. That's what they do. They take care of us spiritually, and now they're going to take care of us, to not get sick.
Members of the church can join the church authorities through radio, TV, and internet. Families and friends can gather in their home to listen and learn about the gospel teachings.
We're probably going to watch it as roommates and, try to have a good spiritual moment and analyze it and meditate and try to be as reverent as possible in our apartment.
Other changes will affect missionaries who currently serve in different parts of the world, especially those in areas affected by the virus: Cambodia, Japan, Korea, Singapore, Mongolia, Thailand, and Italy. The Provo and Preston, England MTC will not take any new missionaries, but will train them by video conference. The church leaders said the concern for the health and safety of the church members led them to make the changes, which will go into effect on March 16, 2020. Reporting live in Provo for Newsline, I'm Victoria Vyasovich.
Thanks, Victoria.
It's time for a quick reality check about the coronavirus.
Alessandra Harris joins us now with the facts. Alessandra?
Take advice from Taylor Swift and tell each other you need to calm down. The mortality rate of COVID-19 is not extremely intense for younger, healthy individuals. You can see that newborns to age 19 have only a 0.1% chance of mortality. Those who are aged 20 to 49 years old have only a 0.3% chance of mortality. Those 50 to 59 years old have a 1.3% chance of mortality. And it is the older people, those 60 and above, that have the most severe chance of mortality at only 6%. The CDC stated that the others that should be concerned are those who have severe underlying health conditions, such as heart disease, lung disease, and diabetes. Looking at this chart of COVID-19 compared to the seasonal flu, SARS, and MERS, you can see that the fatal cases of COVID-19 are a lot closer to the seasonal flu than to previous coronavirus outbreaks. And most of the fatalities from COVID-19 are from people in their older age. Now let's talk about symptoms and prevention. According to the CDC website, the symptoms of COVID-19 include fever, cough, and shortness of breath. If you have a runny nose, headaches, vomiting, or diarrhea, you're most likely infected with the flu and not COVID-19. The best steps that you can take to protect yourself are to clean your hands often, washing for at least 20 seconds, and avoiding close contact with other people who are sick. The steps that you should take to protect others are to stay home if you're sick, to cover coughs and sneezes with a tissue or with the inside of your elbow, wear a face mask if you are sick, and clean and disinfect frequently touched surfaces daily. While it's always good to have a supply of toilet paper and water bottles, COVID-19 will not prevent or infect clean running water, and it's a respiratory disease, not a digestive one.
The Davis County Sheriff's Office has released body cam footage of an officer-involved shooting in February, warning this video contains some violence.
Get on your stomach. Okay, stop.
On February 25th, police were notified of a suspicious person in West Point. When cops arrived, they encountered 23-year-old Zachary Minico. He approached police waving what appeared to be a handgun. After shots were fired, police tackled Minico and handcuffed him. The sheriff's office plans to continue to share more body cam footage in an effort to be more transparent with the community. Police are searching for a suspect after a 57-year-old woman was shot and killed last night in Mill Creek. Investigators aren't sure what led up to the shooting, but they say the woman was not from the area and was visiting a friend for dinner. Witnesses say they saw a dark SUV leave the scene. Anyone with more information can contact the Unified Police Department at 801-743-7000.
A proposed change to the Utah Constitution will allow education funding to increase the budget with the state's largest teachers union. The compromise would include increasing the amount of money schools get per student. The state could dip into income taxes to pay for children's health care and the needs of the disabled. The deal looks likely to pass at the legislature, but it must be approved by voters in November. The Utah House passes a bill that gives political candidates greater access to voter registration information. Democratic House Minority Leader Brian King says that the existing law frustrates candidates as they try to identify who would most likely receive their message favorably. The new bill will continue to protect voter information from the general public, but candidates will have access to names, addresses, birth years, party affiliations, and past election participation. All 6 female senators walk off the chamber floor of Utah's Capitol in protest of an abortion bill. Senators Luz Escamilla, Deidre Henderson, Jani Iwamoto, Karen Main, Ann Milner, and Kathleen Reeb declined to vote on the House Bill 364 in protest of its invasive nature. The bill would require women to get an ultrasound before having an abortion. The remaining male senators voted, and the bill passed 16-7.
The Boy Scouts of America will merge its 3 Utah councils into one. The organization adapts to a future without thousands of members that were sponsored by the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. The church removed 400,000 youth from Scouts nationally on January 1st, moving them into a new youth program. The new umbrella council will be known as the Crossroads of the West Council. The organization will be based in Ogden, north of Salt Lake City.
If you have 2 hands and a cell phone, you have what you need to save a life. Newsline reporter Natalie Janes tells us the American Heart Association new initiative called Hands Only CPR gives the average person the confidence to perform a life-saving skill.
In movies, when someone passes out, we often hear the cry, "Is there a doctor in the house?" But the American Heart Association wants everyone to know in an emergency, they don't have to be a trained professional, such as these Brigham Young University lifeguards, to help save a life. The initiative does not change the CPR process for trained professionals, but simplifies it for the average person.
For every minute that CPR isn't given, the chance of survival goes down by 10%.
There's a small window of 10 minutes between life and death without CPR, so any bit of help can really make a difference.
I think everyone should know CPR, just because you never know when you're going to need it.
People often hesitate to help because they don't know what to do or feel uncomfortable touching someone's chest or giving breaths mouth to mouth.
Nope.
This new initiative would eliminate the confusion and uncomfort by keeping the steps simple. Call 911 and then start chest compressions.
Doing chest compressions is super simple. You're just gonna take one hand, put it on top of the other, and you're gonna take the heel of your palm and put it right in between the nipples, which is the middle of the chest, and you're gonna press down.
Remembering 30 compressions to 2 breaths with the aid of a defibrillator is still the best method to CPR. But if you ever run into a situation where you need to use CPR, just keep it simple. Call 911 and start compressions. Reporting for Newsline, I'm Natalie Janes.
A powerful clash between 2 elk causes a power outage. Take a look at this video. The 2 animals were caught battling it out near the broadband poles in Summit County. One of the elk bumped into the antennae and caused an internet outage for Utah Broadband customers in Park City. Utah Broadband Services surveillance camera captured the conflict. The company struggled to figure out the problem until they watched the footage a day later.
A hotline that provides hot takes on community problems and city services will tell you how this number is helping communities.
Getting on my first chairlift was awesome.
If you're an outdoor enthusiast planning your next adventure, you may not have to travel that far to enjoy a top 10 vacation spot. We'll tell you which highlighted destinations are closer than you think.
We're expected another week of rainy weather. Find out where spring showers will hit in My Weather Report next.